Hi guys, and welcome to episode 1 of SAO War of Underworld, something. We didn't come up with a name for this thing yet. I'm your host, Rkraiem100. I'm here with Gamerturk, and we are going to be doing a weekly discussion on the latest episodes of SAO War of Underworld. The focus of this is going to be less on the actual cut content and more just discussions on what we feel was good about the episodes, bad about the episodes, whatever it is. So, say hi, Gamerturk. Yeah.
Hello, I'm here, despite he's talking all the time.
Yeah, sorry. This first episode is going to be uploaded to both of our channels. After that, it's going to be alternating between mine and his channels, and this is to cross-promote the channels, get some fan bases for both of us, whatever. Anyways, so this episode was the first episode of the second half of the season. So what did you think overall?
Yeah, not season 4.
It's not season 4.
Let's make that very clear.
This is not season 4. This is the second half of the Alicization arc. So, do you want to start off with what they changed, actually? Because the way they started off was pretty different from the light novel, actually.
The way they started is different, but I'm quite sure they're just shuffling stuff around so relevant parts stick together.
Exactly.
So they skipped the first 20 pages. I didn't write the script for my Alicization Explained yet. I don't have a detailed description of what was skipped, etc. But yeah, the first 20 pages is back from the real world and it was skipped, which is probably gonna be added to the beginning of episode 3, episode 4, whenever they decide going back to that specific person's perspective.
So I was reading through the actual book a little bit, just so that way we have, so that way I was prepared for this, and also because I was just curious as to whether or not they were going to start off on a good note with the adaptation. And even though they skipped the first 20 pages, I don't think they would be able to adapt at least the first 10 pages properly, because for those of you that don't know, in I think it was volume 9 or so, don't you remember there was that scene where it showed Cena in the Bullet of Bullets, and she was up against Sub, whatever his name is, and that whole scene, they just flat out didn't adapt that in the original.
Oh yeah, Shinon's
yeah,
flashback.
So that's legitimately how that's how Volume 15 starts off.
I mean, that was, yes, I agree to a certain extent, because that scene, the scene that we're supposed to have at the beginning of War of Underworld, that was skipped, that's gonna be probably added to episode 3 or whatever. It's a direct it has a direct reference back to that first episode scene that they skipped. But again, it's just the reference that is missing. So in the grand scheme of things,
not a big deal.
It's a shame that they didn't adapt it back then, but
not a big deal. It's not really super
that doesn't
important.
lose so much value. Yes.
I mean, to be honest, I'd rather they skip over that and give us stuff like the Cut Zakaria arc and things like that, or to even just cut.
You know what I'm scared of? That they may even, gimp that scene entirely, however they want to do it, because it's a dangerous scene for TV.
Which one?
The one they skipped, the first 20 pages.
Oh, yeah.
We can talk about that.
If they censor that, if they censor anything with Gabriel, then I'm going to be pissed.
But that's a fucking dangerous scene. Anyways, what about episode 1? We're supposed to be talking about episode 1.
Overall, the animation was pretty solid. They covered all the major points. Again, I was reading a little bit of the first, of volume 15, just the first, I think I only read like 30 pages, just rereading it. I already read it once. But, from what I could see, they covered all the major points, but they didn't cover it in so much depth that it dragged on, which I felt was nice. They adapted it properly, but not super in-depth.
That is exactly what I think as well. Quite surprising. We actually did sync up here. That's genuinely surprising. They did adapt the things quite well. Only 2 points that I came up with. It feels a little important, but all around, it's just detail that has been trimmed. The weight of the swords.
Exactly, the weight of the swords.
For example, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is half the weight. The Night Sky sword is slightly... God damn it, my English is failing me because we're doing this at 7 p.m. after a day of university.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's more... The Night Sky sword is just slightly bit lightweight than the Osmanthus blade, etc. But again, those are details. Does anyone really care?
I mean,
Not
I
really.
care, but most of the fan base couldn't care.
Yeah. I mean, I care as well because it's a direct reference to their, authority levels, etc. It's the kind of stuff we really love. But in the grand scheme of things, in terms of narrative,
It doesn't really matter as much.
Nah, only 2 points. Should I mention
go
them
ahead.
now or? So first off, the Berkuli speaking with the knights. They did skip Alice's entire explanation because, internal monologues.
Yeah, they don't care. That's the worst part of this adaptation as a whole. Not this episode, but the adaptation as a whole, in my opinion.
Yep, definitely. And the thing is, Alice actually told everything to Berkuli. So Berkuli literally knows everything that happened. Of course, you know this.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
Telling for everyone. This is my first podcast. If you guys don't know,
You have to explain it to the viewers.
Need to be very
You have
clear.
to explain it to the viewers. Not all of them are up to date with the light novel stuff.
Yep. Like, Alice literally told everything that happened. Everything she knows to Berkuli. However, Berkuli decided some of those information was really dangerous for the Integrity Knight. So, for example, he told them the people that were turned into swords, but he didn't tell them specifically that those people were their beloved ones, etc. They were brainwashed. The Integrity Knights don't know any of this.
And it makes sense though. I don't remember the exact reason the light novel gave, but they gave a reason why, and it made sense when I was reading it.
Yep, and that is also why Eldri or other Integrity Knights are so hostile towards Kirito, because it feels like, such a random thing when Eldri comes in the final scene and is like a total dick towards Kirito.
I feel like
because he doesn't know what actually happened, because Berkuli simply hid all the truth.
Yeah, stuff like that, like the little politics stuff like that, it's not coming through in the anime adaptation. And while it's not such a big deal, it's actually like it builds out the narrative as a whole in a way that is like other series have it, but lower quality series like generic isekais don't tend to have it. And because of that, I feel like that a lot of people that aren't super into SAO, they don't read the light novel stuff, that they'll get the impression that SAO is more generic than it actually is, because it's lacking that to a degree, at least in terms of the adaptation.
Yep. I mean, a lot more details were cut as well, but I feel like this was one of those important ones.
Something that I was...
Oh, another one, again, towards the very end. Have you read the final pages of what they adapted this week?
What's going on? Why is the sound cutting out or something? Or
did you hear me?
I heard you say something final page, because Discord's...
Yeah, I'm having the same issue this time as well. No, don't worry. Have you read the final pages of what they adapted?
I only reread the first 30 pages or so. I only really read until the end of the real world stuff.
Mm-hmm. So the thing is, they also skipped the fact that Alice was writing a farewell letter to Selka because after Eldri's arrival, she was actually planning to head out and escape Rulit completely to search for the World's End altar.
Yeah, I remember that.
She was literally...
I remember that, yeah.
You do, right? Yeah. She's literally saying goodbye to Selka, and she does sign it as herself, Alice Tsuberg, Synthesis 30. And that's a really big moment for Alice, because she never saw herself as the real sister of Selka, and that was kind of a short but important arc for Alice to complete.
It was something I really liked about the adaptation in terms of Alice coming to terms with her being that, even though this version of Alice technically isn't from a technical level isn't Alice Zuberg, that she is trying to act that she is, and she's trying to live her life the way she is when we first see her confront her father, they do it in the exact same way and with the exact same scenery and backgrounds and everything like that as when she was first taken away. And it could be argued, hey, something like just reuse some assets or whatever, but I think that it's more symbolic of the fact that she's confronting her sins from the past, and because of that, by going directly to her father in this specific scene, it shows how she's owning up to her mistakes, even though her father is not able to forgive her for it.
And now that you say that, actually reminded me of something else. The reason why all the villagers are so hostile towards Alice. Because she simply didn't tell them that she's an Integrity Knight. She specifically hid that information.
I don't remember that for some reason. I need to reread the volumes. The last time I read volume 15 in full was when it first came out, like 6 months ago.
Yeah, like it was an entire exposition dump back when Alice actually meets what was that guy called? The dickhead landlord.
Yeah,
Barbosa.
that guy. Something about him also.
When she meet
go on.
When she meets Barbosa, she does think about a lot of things. You know how Barbosa is handling their deal. He's kind of being disrespectful, disregarding her wishes because he's constantly pushing the work for me stuff despite their deal, which in normal cases he cannot do because of the taboo index, because of their authorities and stuff. But he sees Alice as a criminal because she never told them that she's an integrity knight, that she's above them.
Interesting.
So Barbosa thinks he is above her. Yeah, that was an entire little exposition that I really loved.
I forgot all these little details. I really need to reread the whole book. This is kind of why I'm not really planning on doing a whole light novel versus anime thing like you're doing right now. I just don't have the time for that.
That's why this shit is taking so long with the
I don't blame you.
It takes too much time.
If you need some help with the editing, by the way, just let me know. I'll help you a bit.
I'm fine. I'll figure it out somehow. It's my.
So speaking of Barbarossa or whatever the guy's name is,
Barbosa.
Yeah, I didn't like how originally, like in when they were adapting Volume 9, they cut the scenes with him. So he showed up a few times with Volume 9. They mentioned him a number of times, but they completely cut them because I feel like that to anime only, this guy's coming completely out of the blue. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense.
I mean, to be frank, when I was reading, he did come out of the blue because he was such a minor character in Volume 9. I didn't even remember him. It was Gushimenas from SAO Wikia that told me, hey, this guy was in Volume 9
I
as well.
actually fully remembered him, though.
It was some translation topics we were talking about.
I fully remembered him when reading Volume 15, and I was wondering specifically about some of the named villagers that we did have. So specifically, like Sister Azalea, Selka, Barbarossa, or whatever the guy's name is. I was wondering how they were going to react to Alice coming back, and I'm disappointed that originally they didn't adapt him, but I'm glad they decided not to just like retcon him out in spite of the fact that they didn't show him originally. Granted, I don't know why they would do that.
Oh, yeah. I was scared about Old Margarita at a certain point back in episode, what was it, 4? I feel like we're talking too much about our disappointments. People are gonna think, we're here to
No, it was actually a very good episode. The only complaint that I have overall is that, and I'm gonna get so much flack about this, I believe that the new OP is painfully average. The animation is great, but the actual song itself is painfully average.
I actually do agree. Plenty of people actually agree, according to my comment section. But the song is not great. People actually do prefer Cell Frontier from the Blading Rising Steel opening.
You mean Rising a Shield Hero?
To properly. No. The Sword Art Online Alicization Rising Steel, the upcoming Alicization mobile game.
I heard that thing has an OP, but I didn't hear it yet.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I really enjoy that song, but yeah, I definitely prefer the ending of War of Underworld.
I don't remember off the top of my head for some reason. Maybe I skipped it? I don't know.
And the visuals of the opening, that's way too spoilery. Like, there is one significant bit about Volume 17 that I mentioned in my opening explained video. There is one bit at the very end that spoils the entire ending of Alicization.
Legit?
And people are asking
me... They put that much spoilers?
People did see something weird in that final shot when Alice is walking away. They keep asking me, what is this? You didn't mention this. And I'm like, fam, if I mention that, I am ruining your entire experience because that's the end of Alicization.
I'm only on the beginning of Volume 17.
I'm literally not answering people asking me about
That's insane that they'd show Volume 18 spoilers in the OP, especially when they're having a split core, that they're not airing the second half of the season until spring or something.
It's an incredibly vague hint to the ending,
that's fair.
So I can't blame them for it, but I'm sorry people, but if you're asking, I cannot answer you because
maybe you can make a super spoiler video like I did.
I really don't want to do that. Good point. It really separates the audiences, I try to be anime original friendly in all of my stuff, and I don't want to spread that audience around.
Yeah, good point. Overall, though, good episode. Any remaining thoughts? Anything else you want to bring up?
You know, you said you liked the animation at the very beginning of this chat.
Yeah, the animation overall was really good. Granted, I'd prefer horrible animation with a solid adaptation than great animation and not the best. But you know what? As long as we have the adaptation itself being really good, then I will take whatever animation they'll give us. So I did like the way they adapted things. I liked how they seemed to try to be faithful as much as possible to the way the source material was. And yeah, overall, I just can't wait for episode 3. I want to see whether or not they're going to censor the nonsense that Gabriel pulls.
I still haven't finished my train of thought. So you said you liked the animation. I am gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I didn't.
I think you're cutting
The
out.
animation feels
You
like...
cut out a bit.
Don't worry, I have the recording just
Yeah,
fine
I
on
know.
my
It's
end,
it's
I'm
going to be
hoping.
so weird for the viewers because from their perspective, like we're using both of our audio ends, and they're going to be like,
Exactly, perfectly fine
yeah.
audio, and like, how do they not understand each
yeah,
other?
we're using Discord. Maybe we should use something better in for future videos,
Skype.
but or maybe
Skype.
if I turn off.
People shit on Skype, but it's more stable.
Maybe if I turn off my VPN in the future, I don't know. Are you using a VPN?
No, why are you using a VPN when we're trying to
Because
talk
I
to
always
each other?
keep it on because when I turn it off, I forget to turn it back on.
Anyways, I was saying that you said the animation was nice. I am gonna get a lot of flack for this, but the animation was not nice.
So
You know
where
what I feel like
specifically?
the problem is? I'll be more specific in a bit. You know what I think the problem is? I feel like they have a shit ton of great artists there, but they have a serious lack of actual animators. Because the drawings and stuff, when they are still, they're incredible. They're like ordinal scale level stuff. Especially the backgrounds and
Yeah, the backgrounds are phenomenal.
hand-drawn non-animation stuff. When it comes to animation, just you can actually go ahead and screenshot these to put into the podcast video.
I
Once
think
you
I'm going to
upload
use
it.
some full clips where necessary, and then also I will use still shots for the filler.
Yeah, for this stuff, screenshots are perfect. Look at when Eldri and Takiguri is landing to Alice's log cabin. Screenshot that and just put it up there. It's amazing how horrible of a drawing it is. It's absolutely amazing. When shit doesn't move, they draw stuff properly. When they need to animate stuff, they're really cutting so many corners that Eldri looks like someone from Roblox. And he is the focus of the scene. He is the one landing. He is the one everybody's looking at.
I mean, in that case,
Go
it's good
into
that
the
they're splitting
inside
the
scene.
core. It's good that they're splitting the core in that case.
It is, but the problem is, episode 24, 23, 20 plus had plenty of these issues as well. But the difference is, I could sympathize with the production studio when it was episode 20 because they had such a massive run. They had so many production issues, etc., that I could, sympathize with them, simply put.
But
now,
yeah,
they are coming
now
back
that
from a 6-month break. They have no excuse for this kind of shit. In episode 1.
and
If
especially
this happens
episode
in
1
episode 8,
yeah, episode
yes, that's
1.
understandable.
And then that would
But
explain
episode
things like
1,
this.
after a 6-month break,
I'm sending you an
exactly.
image.
There is no
That would
excuse.
explain things like this, where in general the actual still shots look good, but when in motion, it doesn't look as good.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I disagree with the screenshot you sent me there, because in motion that actually looks decent, because it's Yu-Gi-Oh's thought that, Jesus Christ, how the fuck are they moving that fast? So that scene kinda captures
Okay, but
that.
why is Fantio's
Despite the
arm
fact that it
halfway
looks
in the
lazy. Yes, despite the fact that it looks lazy, it captures the Yu-Gi-Oh's thought there. So I like that screenshot you sent me there. But in general, Fanatio battle and everything afterwards has so many cut corners, which for that point it's understandable. Again, it's episode 16. This is episode 1 after a 6-month break. This should have pristine quality animation like episode 1 of Human Empire arc.
Hey, maybe they
Already.
put the budget for these first few episodes into episode 2, where we both know what's going to happen. Should we say for the viewers or no? Mild stuff, nothing major?
I mean, it's pretty obvious what is coming. The next episode's title is Raid, or literal translation, Attack, Invasion.
But yeah, the animation for that better be top notch. I'm really hoping it will be. If it is, that's gonna be awesome.
I don't want to be a bummer here, so I'm not gonna say anything.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, though.
Because based on what I'm hearing, I have.
Okay, but how is it that you are being more positive? I'm being more positive than you when I'm the one that did 2-hour rants comparing the light novel and anime.
I don't know. It's just this kind of animation cutting corners in episode 1. It really.
I mean, in all fairness, I'm the one that said that if we got stick figure animations with a good adaptation, I'd prefer that over what we got with the first half. But yeah, any final thoughts?
Also, I am continuing this final thought.
Oh, sorry.
I'm also coming from Fate Grand Order anime,
okay.
So I watched that, then I watched Sword Art Online. So when I compare the animation quality, Fate Grand Order has lower drawing quality, but has so much more fluid and creative animation.
Okay, but it's not fair really to compare Fate.
Absolutely
it's
terrible.
It's not fair to compare A1 with UFO Table.
It's not Unlimited Blade Works. It's really not a high budget Fate thingy. You can see when you screenshot stuff, it's really not well drawn. But the animation looks very charming because it's all dynamic, the cinematography is there, things are moving, even the simplest thing is properly animated. Look at Eldri's face when Eldri and Alice are sitting in the hut. Eldri's face is simply melting.
Yeah, that makes sense. The only thing of Fate I've seen, at least, I've seen a few episodes of Fate Khalid. I've tried one of the. I've tried one of the Fate shows because one of my friends said Fate is awesome, and I'm like, okay. I watched the entire thing, and by the end, I still had no idea anything that was going on. So he's like.
Well, you kind of picked the one that is not aiming to be awesome.
No. I watched the other one first, and then he's like, okay, you know what? Last chance to get you into Fate, watch Fate Khalid, because it's basically Madoka Magica with lesbian lollies kissing, and I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try, because sometimes you give me good recommendations, kind of iffy, but I watched a few episodes, not bad at least.
Yeah, Apocrypha was really
I heard from the Gigak video.
Its animation budget was destroyed towards the final episodes, but it was really fun. It was charming.
Yeah.
But considering we're talking about Fate, I think we're done.
Anyways, this first episode is going to go on both of our channels, and for the next video, whose channel should it go on?
Yours.
Mine?
Yes. Because I don't want to edit next week either. I need to catch up.
I can do all the editing as long as I continue to have as much free time as I have now, so.
I mean, if you want to, sure. I don't want to burden you with additional
I'll let you know if
things
change, but at least right now I have the kind of time where I can put 2-3 hours into a small edit, you know what I mean? Not like this is a very long video.
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay, I think that's it. So make sure to like, favorite, and subscribe to both of our channels, and I hope you guys liked it. Both of our channels will be linked in the descriptions for both the videos, and we will be doing this every week. Next week, it will also be uploaded probably the same day as this one, and then after that, it's going to be different just because our schedules are weird right now. And yeah.
I hate my schedule.
Same here, don't worry. Yeah, see you guys later.
Thanks for watching, guys.